Chad Weiberg. Of course, we covered the press conference live when he was officially announced back on July 1st, and I am not going to repeat Chad's statement, but we suffice to say you're 2 weeks into this, and you
Yes.
made that clear. You know you're 2 weeks into this.
Well, I've had a few people reminding me of that, I think. So,
Not, I know K State's athletic director was here. Joe Castiglione has come to this before. Not every athletic director. I didn't check to see if Chris Del Conte came. He used to like to come all the time. But uh, for you, what's the good purpose for you to be at an event like this?
well, I think, um, first of all, it worked out with the schedule. I don't know that it'll always do that, but as long as it does, and I would like to be here. I think that the conference encourages that, and so I think it's just a opportunity to just show the kind of support that we have for our program and our coaches, and be able to visit with people like you, and then also to visit with, see the conference office folks, commissioner, and his staff. So, and it's great just to be able to be, we didn't get to do this last year, right? Nobody got to do it.
No.
So, part of it is just the fact that we're back to being able to do these kinds of things again, feels really good.
And when Coach Gundy was on the podium and did his session with the general media, I knew he was going to be asked about this. And to be honest, I talked to several reporters and let them know that you and Dr. Shrum were going to be here because I think it's good for other conference media from around the league to know who the movers and the decision makers are at Oklahoma State. But I liked Coach Gundy's comments where he said, "Hey, I'm excited. Chad's been in the program a while, but I'm excited for him to be in that position in the athletic department." And then Dr. Shrum, I know there've been meetings with all of you guys, but I think it's again a new, fresh time, and I really look forward to see what gets accomplished over the next decade or so
Well, I agree.
and beyond. I don't
Yeah.
want to limit your term limit.
Yeah. Well, no, I look forward to working with Coach Gundy. Obviously, have had the opportunity to do that the last 4 years, but like he said in his comments, it'll be different. But I look forward to working with him, and that difference. He's done such a great job here, Robert. You know that, and he's had incredible success. And then what I appreciate so much is that he's done it the right way. We don't have problems with the NCAA violations. We don't have problems graduating our kids. We don't have discipline problems. Those kinds of things. Um, so he does a great job and does it the right way. Kind of the Oklahoma State way. And so I've said this before. I think he is a future Hall of Fame football coach, and so just look forward to working with him to continue to build the program.
Two things that I know are I'm going to do the lighter one first, and I assume you're going to hand this over to Reed Sigmund, who's coming in, because he has experience with it as well. But I know it's not the most important thing you do, but in some ways it's pretty critically important scheduling football games. And you look, Arkansas, Colorado, Alabama, Arizona State's coming up quick. Oregon. I remember when that was first announced with the mascots doing
Yeah.
the social media announcement. Chad, you've taken football scheduling at this school to a whole new level.
Well, I'm first of all look forward to Reed getting here as well. He starts on Monday, and yes, he'll assume those responsibilities. Obviously, it's a team effort. I mean, Coach Holder's been involved with that through the years, and Coach Gundy is involved in that process as well. And I really appreciate how he's been to work with on those. When we first started talking about the possibility of playing Alabama, he was great with it, and so that I think says a lot about where he feels like the program is, and so that all of those things help. And but I think Reed will even take it to the next level too with his connections that he's got across the country. So I think we'll continue to have great non-conference opponents coming into Stillwater and going to places like that, but it is important. We want to. Um, it's a balance, right? So we want to have something that is, attractive to the fans, clearly, but also that makes sense for our competitiveness and puts our team in a position, where they want to be when it comes to postseason and those sorts of things. That we've done the right things
Well,
to put
maybe
our
even,
team in a position to
and
be there.
maybe even more important with an expansion
Yep.
in the
Yep.
CFP.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
So with
And I,
large teams, you'll get judged on who you played more.
yeah, I feel really good about kind of how our schedule lays out, even with that coming. So I don't feel like we have to make any major adjustments with that coming on at this point. The uh, the decision to play Tulsa, pretty much every year, I think was very important for how all of this works together.
Right.
And then we have the one, at this point, the one guarantee game that we would go out and get on top of those two, the Power Five and Tulsa.
The other thing, and you and I have talked about this a lot because I think I've really locked in on how much of a concern it is. Yesterday, Bob Bolesby mentioned that the payout in the conference was in the neighborhood of 35 million to the schools. That's probably 4 or 5 million less than what it's normally been. You and I have talked about this. I know you're happy about football season tickets, which will help start the turnaround, but financially, as you now take control, one of the things you'll have to navigate is making up for the lost ticket revenue from the COVID period. How do you feel financially?
Well, we are going to be, definitely in a deficit, but the deficit is smaller than what we, at one time thought that it was going to be. And so the good news is it's more manageable than what we were fearful of, but it is something we're going to have to manage, and that is something that we continue to talk about. What is the best way to do that? Our hope is that we're able to contain this problem in a short period of time. We don't want to be paying for this in some way 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road. So if we've got the ability to kind of contain this within a year or two, so that it's not compromising our future revenue out into the future, is what we'd like to do. So we'll continue to have conversations to figure that out.
You did have a meeting with Bob Bolesby. How excited are you? Because you've been at Texas Tech and Kansas State, you've seen the wheels turn. Now within the conference as an AD, you get to help turn those wheels a little more.
Yeah, well, it's an honor, first of all, just to kind of be part of that group. There's great ADs in this league, and so I look forward to working with them and really just continuing to be able to observe and learn from them, because there's a lot of experience around that table, and people that have done a really, really good, outstanding job, and I look up to a lot of them and have for a long time. So to be kind of in those meetings with them is something I look forward to. And Commissioner Bolesby's done a great job. We're very fortunate, I think, to have him leading the conference. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I think, and I think Oklahoma State's proud to have